Hola amigas y amigos de Caminemos con María. Estamos de regreso con un episodio muy especial. Tengo una invitada maravillosa, gran amiga a quien admiro muchísimo. Ella es Bethy Whaley. Hola Betty, bienvenida.
Hola, gracias por tenerme.
Gracias Betty.
Es un placer estar aquí con usted.
Gracias Betty. Betty, cuéntanos, tell us, who are you, what do you do, where are you from?
Okay, my name is Bethy Whaley. I am a lifelong Indianapolis native. I was born here. I've been here my whole life. I am retired. I am a mother, a wife, an aunt. I am a Christian. I am a grandmother and a great-grandmother.
Yes, just very recently
Yes.
became a great-grandmother.
Yes.
Oh, she's so cute.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Betty, I met you at Christ Church Cathedral about 12 years ago when I came to direct the Latino choir
Yes.
at Christ Church Cathedral. And I remember that you did a lot of things for Christ Church Cathedral, but also for the community. Why don't you tell us a little bit of what are the different roles that you've been at Christ Church and with the church in general?
Okay, I came to Christ Church in 1963. I lived at 10th and Central in near downtown Indianapolis. At that time, it wasn't a safe place. There was a community center, I'll call it a center, at what we now call Chatham Arch, and it was run by Christ Church Cathedral and the diocese.
I didn't know that.
And it was called Cathedral House. And to keep her children safe, my mom sent us there every day during summer so that we could be children and have fun, but be very safe.
That's amazing.
So there were priests there. If I recall correctly, that was also where the seminarians lived. It was a house.
Yes.
And so they encouraged all of us from the neighborhood to come to Christ Church. So we started going on Sunday for services, and then they introduced the idea of baptism.
Okay.
So my mom said, yes, I want my children baptized. And at the time, I think I was like 13 years old. No, I was 11.
Oh, wow.
And
To be baptized
so
at 11.
we were baptized there, and I didn't live in an ideal family situation. So as I got older, I went away from the church.
Okay.
Because I just felt like that wasn't where I wanted to be right then. I regretted it, but I did it. Then I came back to the church after my mother passed away in 1987.
Okay.
And I had found my place to grieve there. And I sat in the back, and I cried, and I loved the part of being there at the church. And Father Gray, who was the dean at the time, I also worked at Christ Church. I worked at Chase Bank.
Yes.
I was a teller at that time.
Right around the corner from the cathedral.
And Father Gray would bring in the Sunday offerings, and I would process his deposit. And we got to talking, and I said, that really used to be my church. And he said, well, it's still your church.
Oh, I love that.
I want you to come back. And so I came back, and the next step was, okay, are you ready to be confirmed? So 25 years after my baptism, I was confirmed at Christ Church. Yes.
Oh, who was the bishop? Do you remember?
Jones, I want to say, but maybe not. It might have been someone before him. But
Sure. Yes. Because
Bishop Crane. It was Bishop Crane.
Oh, wow. Yes. Because in the Episcopal Church, when you receive your confirmation, you receive that from the bishop. That's why I asked that question.
It was Bishop.
Yes.
Well, no, my confirmation was Bishop Jones.
Yes. Okay. Excellent. That's wonderful.
So.
Now, how do you go from confirmation after 25 years and like being out of the church for some time to being like so invested, especially with the Latino community at Christ Church Cathedral?
It took a while. Steve and I, Steve and I went on our first mission trip to Ecuador in 2007, and we loved the way that they worshipped in the church in Comité de Pueblo. We decided, well, we have a ministry at church that's a Latino ministry. Let's go there.
Yes.
So we came back and we started going once a month. We said, well, we'll come once a month. And after that, we decided, why don't we just go all the time? Because we were met with such love and such acceptance and such kindness that we'd never felt that before. Steve probably had experienced it more than me, but I had not felt that kind of love and support and respect that I got from the Latino ministry.
Yes.
And I just felt like I found my church home.
Mm-hmm. So you and your husband, Steve, started coming to the Latino Mass or Eucharist that happened at Christ Church Cathedral.
We did.
Yes, that's wonderful. What are some of the, well, you just mentioned the hospitality, the kindness, the welcome. What else attracts you? What else makes you be there?
The fact that there is unwavering faith that they have given to me. They have shared that with me, and there is no doubt in my mind that they're the reason why I'm such a faithful person now.
Wow.
I would share things during some of our conversations, and I would be discouraged, and they would say, no, you got to trust in God. He's going to take care of you. And this coming from people that have not been well treated in this country and have struggled and have been denied their humanity was eye-opening, and it opened my heart, and I just fell in love with every one of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so you are a Latina de
Corazón.
That's right. Bethy Whaley is here exactly because of that. I invited Betty because I was, one of the points that we make with Caminemos con Maria, our program, is that we want to celebrate the stories of Latinas. But the identity, to be a Latina today in the United States, is such a complex thing. We don't speak one language. We don't look all the same. We don't come from one single country anymore, and we are married with people from other countries, with Americans, and then we also adopt family who become Latinos de corazón, like you, Betty.
That's what happened.
Yes, I mean, you're parte de la familia, yeah. And I've noticed in other congregations that I have visited around the country, I go there and I said, that's a Bethy Whaley. That's a Steve Whaley.
Really?
I recognize them because it's this person that is so fully transformed and falling in love with the Latino family and the church. And so I said, that's a Bethy Whaley. Yes.
Oh,
and you are a Latina de corazón, and that's why I wanted to invite you and tell us your story here at Caminemos con Maria.
I have to share with you that Steve, although he doesn't speak Spanish, when the choir is singing and when you would sing, when choral sings, he's crying.
Oh my goodness.
He doesn't need to know what the words are. It's the music and the dedication to the music and the loveliness of it that touches his heart, and he's crying.
Yeah, well, it's not very hard to make Steve Whaley cry, I have to say, though. I remember once we were at a meeting. Remember, we had a ministry called Bilingual Conversations, and we were gathering, and I just thought we should do music from different places, and so we did some Latin stuff, but then I found some Bob Dylan songs, and we started singing Blowing in the Wind.
I remember that.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. And Steve told his story because Steve was, he's a veteran, right? No, his dad was a veteran. Yes. Mm-hmm. But somehow he told the story and how it all related, and he was crying.
Yes.
Yes.
He cries at commercials with me. He's a Latino de corazón.
He's a Latino de corazón.
A very
also.
blonde
Yes.
Latino de corazón.
Yes, yes. Now, for instance, one of the things that you to do is that you open your home for a posada once a year. Tell us about that.
Try to. The first posada was in 2018, and we had just come back from a mission trip, and I was not quite sure how many people would come, and I wasn't quite sure how I was going to feed them. I just knew that we were going to have a posada.
Yes.
And I went into overdrive with worry.
Yes.
We decided we were going to have ham and macaroni and cheese, and I wasn't going to do a lot of cooking because I can't cook, but I thought we'll have lots of sweets, and that'll take care of the fact that I can't cook. It'll take care of everything. We had that night 52 people in our tiny little home.
Yes.
And I was filled with so much joy that I couldn't even sleep that night. I was so happy about the turnout and just having my Latino family in my home and acting like it was their home too. And they were welcome and they were kind, and it was a magical night because this Holy Spirit was right there, right here, taking care of my angst. Yes. And it was just a beautiful night.
Yes.
And you were there.
I was
and
there.
Your girls were there.
Thinking that we were singing posadas, yes.
Yeah. We hadn't had one until last year, and it was the same emotion. I recorded it because I wanted that to have forever. And it was the same joy and the same excitement and the same love that I felt for everybody in that room.
Yes. And so for people who don't know what posadas is, the posadas is an Advent celebration where the people reenact the moment when Mary and Joseph are looking for room in the inn, right? And they are denied, they are rejected.
Right.
And so people actually process around the neighborhood from house to house with candles and singing music. And when they get to the door, they knock on the door and then they get rejected until at the end there's a twist in the story. And at the end they're actually recognized, and the people from the inn says, "Oh, you're Joseph and you're Mary. Please come in, live in my house, but also in my heart for the rest of the year." And so this happened in Advent, and it's a Mexican celebration. It also happens in other countries, and it's a very big deal at Christ Church Cathedral.
It is, and when the people come in after we say, "Come on in, Mary and Joseph," this year or this past year, I'm crying with joy, just like Steve.
Yes.
You know, we've learned from each other that we're very emotional.
Yes. Very dramatic. You're Latina de corazón for real.
I just recently looked at the video, and I start getting excited because everybody's just coming in, and it's like, welcome to my home.
Yes. Yes.
I love you guys. Come on in.
Yes. And how important for our Latino community to receive that message, Betty, welcome to my home.
Yeah.
Welcome. And many times we are the ones who are welcome to their homes, right? Because during posadas, the Latino families open up their homes.
They do.
And they feed us, and they host us, and
their children, when they come in, they kiss and hug each and every person in the room. It's just, that's emotional for me too. It's like, that's the most endearing thing.
Yes, and everybody's invested in the cooking and preparation and serving the food.
Right, and it's delicious food, and I always gain weight during Christmas.
Yes.
During Advent.
That is the best way to, gain weight in Christmas, in Advent, yes. Go to all the posadas at Christ Church Cathedral.
If you want to really eat.
Yes, yes, how important. Betty, tell me, what else do you do as a volunteer for the community or for Christ Church?
I am an advocate for immigrant rights.
Yes.
And I, through our connection, through the Cathedral's connection with COIN, Coalition for Immigrant Neighbors, and not Dayspring, Faith in Indiana.
Yes.
I became a real advocate because they showed me how to use this voice, use this privilege, and sometimes your money,
Yes.
and go out there and be the person that the Latinos are counting on to help them through this horrible time that they can be facing in this country. And I became very invested in it. And one day I was called and asked to go to a protest for unfair labor practices.
Oh, okay, yes.
And when I got there, it was downtown, and when I got there, the person leading the protest said, "You may be arrested today." And my heart sank because I thought, I can't be arrested. What's going to happen? Steve was cutting the grass. I didn't even know if he'd hear my call from the jail.
Yes.
So I was walking beside a lady, and I said, "Are you worried about being arrested?" And she was a Latina lady, and she said, "No, God is with me. I'm not scared at all." I knew that if I got arrested, I was going to leave that same day. If she got arrested, she might be deported.
Yes.
So that her faith became my faith, and we walked together the whole time. There were no arrests, and I thanked her for being so honest and sharing her faith with me, because I really was scared, and I thought, how wrong for you to be scared when there's a whole lot more at stake here for these people that are marching alongside you.
Yes.
So that changed me that day too. It
Yes.
was like, you got to stop being afraid.
Easier said than done. Yes.
So yeah, I
yes.
decided I was going to go to every protest, and I invited Steve to come to some. He hadn't gone to too many. He was louder than anybody there, and I was just like, that's what we have needed. We have the voice, and we can use it.
Yes.
And so we do.
You think your formation at Christ Church Cathedral has helped you find that voice?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because the people I love are being affected by it. So I'm not going to sit and be quiet. It's just like if one of my family members were in need of help and support, I would do it. These people, these lovely families are my family.
Yes.
I'm not going to sit back and let anything happen that I can help prevent.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're powerful, Betty. You're so powered.
I am, and I didn't realize it. I needed Latino presence in my life to open my head and heart and wake me up.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Imagine if we had like every Episcopalian thinking that I need a Latino person in my life to open my mind and my heart.
Yes. That's the truth.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Now, I know that you usually attend the conferences of Latino ministries like Nuevo Amanecer in Canuga. How many of those have you attended?
I've gone to about 4.
Yes.
And every year that we leave, I am so rejuvenated and so ready to go out there and protest and do something to help the people that I love. And what is also wonderful is that I get way more than I give.
Oh,
I get the love that I've never had in friendships and in acquaintances, and I have people that are so kind to me at these conferences, and Steve sticks out like a sore thumb because he's a blonde guy and he's tall, and we feel loved.
Yes.
It's amazing, and I do tell him all that we drive, and I say, we gotta go back and get busy. So
yes, absolutely.
yeah.
So last couple of weeks ago, we were talking with Letty Medina, who is one of our leaders at Christ Church Cathedral. Strong
She's one of my heroes.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's truly amazing. And what she was saying is that the future of the church really is with Latino women, with our Latino congregations. How do we bring this message across to the church that we need to be even more open to our Latino ministries and our Latino folk in the church?
We invite everybody to the table.
Yes.
And we make sure that the Latino women are there, and we encourage them to be there. When we say stay at this table, we listen to their stories. Yes. We respect their story and their history. We do like I did, and we soak up their faith into our souls, into our hearts, and we're transformed. And if you let that happen, you don't ever go back. You just want to encourage in any way you can to listen to these lovely women who are amazing, and their stories will break your heart, and they'll give you hope, and they'll show you what a real faithful Christian is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Amen. Amen to that. Yes. Yes. It makes me think that there are so many times when we wonder, how do we do this? How do we integrate? How do we bring more Latinos into the church? And it really comes down to being at the table, breaking bread, have a relationship, realize that we have so much more in common than not.
Right. And their stories, I served at the detention center in Dilley through COIN, and the stories were heartbreaking. And many times, the attorneys and the interpreters, we were crying.
Yes.
And we were listening to these stories, and we wanted to go out and say, they're not here to go to Disney World or shop at Walmart. They're here to save their lives and their children's lives, and to be a person that's not afraid anymore of somebody coming and taking their children or burning down their home because their son can't be recruited into a gang. These women crossed the desert and took months to get here, and how can we not listen to them and invite their wisdom and their presence with us? How can we not? We can't deny that.
Yes.
And you at the same time, I got the same feeling that they gave me more than I gave them that day, because I came away from there thinking there's nobody stronger than migrants and immigrants coming into this country where they know they're not welcome, but they make that choice to save their lives and the lives of their family.
Yes, yes. And when they come, they become part of the community, and once you connect with our immigrant community, you realize, like you say, how much more we gain.
Right.
Because of this work ethic, this love ethic, this willingness to sacrifice everything for the people they love.
Right. And they come into a kitchen where, English speakers are, and they can just put a meal together with no effort at all. They work together, they're chatting in Spanish, they're singing, they're dancing. It is something that needs to be here. We need this kind of presence. We have to have it. When we were getting ready for the Taco Fest last year, and I'm with all these ladies that are Latina ladies, and I told Steve, I said, the joy in what they're doing and watching them chop everything so fast while I'm over here cutting very slowly and barely cutting through the skin of the tomato, and they've got everything. I know. They made me go out and dance with them during karaoke. And I was like, I love you guys, but there's so much joy in the Latino community that it has to be noticed, has to be shared.
Yes.
It has to be respected, because sometimes I wonder how they can be joyful.
Yes, absolutely.
And I can come into church on a Sunday maybe thinking I'm in a horrible mood. I don't really want to be here. And you start getting the hugs, you hear choral.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is where I need to be. Yes. And I'm glad I'm here. And I'm saying in my head, thank you for making me feel better today.
Yes.
They don't know they're doing that. They're just...
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Now, I want people to know that you also speak, you're actually a really good Spanish speaker. We're doing this in English just because we want to keep the anxiety at bay, but I know you speak
Keep
Spanish.
My mistakes at bay.
Oh, that's all right. And you use your Spanish in many ways. One of those ways is you lead the morning prayer every day.
Mondays and Fridays.
Oh, Mondays and Fridays?
Mondays and Fridays.
Yeah, okay. So Mondays and Fridays, since COVID started, right? You have been leading the morning prayer online.
I know.
At Christ Church Cathedral. How's that for you? What?
It's a challenge. It's one I need. It's my way to pray, and then I'm praying with a community that might tune in. I'm giving back. I'm giving back to the church and to the community that has given to me so much. When I went through my divorce, I could not, it was 30 years ago, 40 years ago, I could not afford to honor my pledge. This is the way I'm honoring my pledge.
No,
I'm giving back through service.
Yes.
And I love it. I make mistakes and I go back and look at it and then I think, but my heart was in it.
Yes,
I just got nervous, and it's amazing to me that I'm still doing it, that they still want me to do it,
Yes.
that I was invited to do it, and it's something I'll continue until they say no more.
Yeah, I love it. I tune in every time I can. I see your face and I say, oh, that's Betty, I can do it. Yes, that's great.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Betty. Thank you for everything that
Thank
you
you.
do for our community at Christ Church, for the example that you are for the entire church.
Thank you for inviting me here. Thank you for, encouraging me to be the person I am just by your presence.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you for accepting me as a member of your family.
Of course, we love you so much. Thank you so much.
I love you guys. Thank you.
And thank you to all of you who have joined us for this episode of Caminemos con Maria. We invite you to continue following us through caminemosconmaria.com and stay tuned for more information about online Bible studies, about the women who migrate in the Bible and how they compare or how they're similar or different to the lives of Latina immigrants today. And also you will see there the music of the album Caminemos con Maria and many more resources. Que Dios los bendiga. Muchísimas gracias.